I have long admired Sister Pat for the work she does with IWC. In the early days, she was often at the Mennonite shelter house, driving families to the bus station and taking on other small and large tasks. And as chair of IWC after Kelly Allen's sudden death, I love the way she always had an affirming comment or some kind words to add after each speaker. It was clear that she cared about their comments and considered their perspective worthy and serious. More recently, I've got to know Sister Pat in a more personal way, by phone. One time she was talking about her way of talking to God, which is very conversational, like buddies would talk. She said, "And I'm sure when he sees me coming, he just says, 'Oh no, not her again.'" One day, when she'd called me several days in a row, she said, "It's me again." And I said, "Oh no, not her again." And of course, Sister Pat laughed right away. We usually talk about 20 or 30 minutes, I guess, and at some point she said to me, "I admire the way you act on your faith," then quickly added with her sly Irish laugh, "Of course, I don't understand your faith." And it was by phone, not Zoom, but still I could just see her eyes rolling. And that's because she knows I love to be teased about my somewhat rebellious denomination. But the way she said it made me think how true it was of all of us in this organization. The way IWC works, we all get a chance to observe and admire one another's faith at work. We see the fruits of it, and that is what matters. We don't have to understand or have any kind of insight into one another's faith. We can just watch the beauty of it as together we solve large and small problems and move forward. Who cares about the details of someone else's personal faith, even someone in your own congregation, even someone you're standing next to reciting a creed or a prayer together? It's hard enough to examine our own faith, much less understand someone else's. But together, we get the job done. And that's what makes all the difference. And so, I've turned Sister Pat's offhand words into an aphorism. Of course I don't understand your faith, but I see it, and I admire the way you act on it. Offhand words. But isn't that how wisdom sometimes comes to us? It certainly is the way this bit of wisdom came to me from Sister Pat.
Sister Pat, you mentioned in an email in the last week about the gifts that Kelly had given to us, and I believe that, yes, Kelly gave us each other. After her death, it was such a difficult time, but we had one another, and we depended on one another to make the best decisions possible for the Interfaith Welcome Coalition. We have grown so much since the summer of 2016, and this year has been a particularly unusual year, but somehow we have always found a way to further the mission of the Interfaith Welcome Coalition. And I credit you with that. You have provided such strong leadership after Kelly's death in the beginning, and have continued to do so, and have continued to be a very important part of our board, moving from the co-chair position to secretary of the board, which I find daunting, and have not volunteered for that position. I want you to know how much I love you and how much we will all miss you dearly. And we also want to send you off with the understanding that you will be in our prayers in your new ministry. And I know that they will be so fortunate to have you with them. Thank you for your friendship and for the many blessings you have brought to the IWC. And we will always hold you in our heart. I love you.
Sister Pat, thank you so much for all of the work that you have done. And it has been a great pleasure for me to work alongside you. we will surely see you again.
Sister Pat, it's been a real pleasure. I think the people of East St. Louis are blessed to be having you companion them in the next part of your ministry, and we will keep you in our prayers, and we will continue to hassle you because this ministry is not one that you can get away from. So thank you again, and God bless you, and safe travels, and stay safe in the pandemic.
Thank you, Sister Pat, for everything that you have done. You've made a significant impact on the families that you worked with, and your passion is one that we will definitely carry forward.
Sister Pat, this is Matt. Our paths didn't cross that much at IWC, but when they did, I immediately saw your compassionate yet ardent advocacy for immigrants. And in talking to others who'd been at this game longer than I have, I discovered right away that you have been a pillar of the organization for the better part of a decade. I wish you the very best in your future endeavors, and I'm excited that another community will get to benefit from your fierce love. Best wishes, Sister Pat.
We have been through so many adventures together. When I heard the news, like my heart just kind of skipped a beat, because we have been joined at the hip, I think, for so many things over the last number of years. And you always inspire me and encourage me to keep on keeping on, because I know this work is so hard, and it was so hard for you too, but you juggled so many things in your life besides just IWC and everything. So all the best, but we will miss you mightily.
Hey, Sister Pat. You were probably the first person that I met at IWC, or at least the first person I remember meeting. And I loved you immediately. I love your feistiness. I love your sense of humor. I love your drive and your heart for people. We are really going to miss you, and hope that we get to see you again. I think we will in heaven at least, but hope we get to see you on earth again, Lord willing.
Well, maybe we can set up some Zooms even from, what, Missouri? Is that where you're headed to? We have really enjoyed our time with you. And yeah, I was remembering that the first meeting that we went to, you were leading it. And I think I asked some questions about other groups that we might work with. And pretty quickly, you had responded by saying, well, I think he's volunteering to help with collaboration. So you got to be careful about what you say around this group. And especially you back then. We've always enjoyed our time with you, and we're going to miss you, and we wish you only the best.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay.
Dear Pat, faithful companion and friend in the journey, your welcoming, generous spirit was present throughout these years in all our collaborative ministries. I will miss you so much, my Dakota friend. God bless you in your going forth. Just know that your spirit and your heart remain with us.
Hi, Sister Pat. Well, it's very difficult to say goodbye, but this is just a new chapter in your life. And I just want to say thank you for all the work that you do for our migrant brothers and sisters. You have taught me so much during the time we spent together at the IWC meetings. So thank you so much for everything.
Sister Pat, you were one of the first people I got to know when I first came to the Interfaith Welcome Coalition. And you always made me feel so welcome and so much a part of things, even from the very beginning. And you always inspired me to be more and to do more. You have definitely been a part of the heart and soul of the Interfaith Welcome Coalition. Your passion, your kindness, your leadership have guided us through so many difficult times. You will always remain a huge part of the legacy of the Interfaith Welcome Coalition. And going forward to your new assignment, I hope it brings you all the happiness and fulfillment in the world. But please tell the Daughters of Charity that they just got downright greedy taking both you and Sister Denise from us, so enough. So please know that you will be so terribly missed. So please take care, and thank you for everything.
Hi, Sister Pat. It's been a while since we've talked. I saw you at the last advocacy meeting, but I would like to say I'm gonna miss you so much. I know that when I was an intern with IWC, you were someone who was always so supportive of me, a little old 19-year-old chiming in, giving opinions in those board meetings. You always made me feel like I had something worth saying and that people should listen, and that's so important for young people. So I know you're going to be just as inspiring and effective, and I think you're going to go to St. Louis. So thank you so much for all the time and dedication you've spent at IWC and for giving us this great foundation. So yes, thank you.
Sister Pat, my favorite memory, I think it's no surprise to you, is that wonderful Thanksgiving when we had the privilege of being able to share the kitchen with so many mamas and children and fix a Thanksgiving dinner for all the families at the casa. That was the time when you performed, could be your first miracle, although there might have been a lot of miracles before that. But this is the miracle that I witnessed, and I will testify to it when you come up for canonization. And that was the miracle of the multiplication of the turkeys. When I think we only had 2 turkeys that had been roasted, and we had served them both. We had cut them. You had cut them up, and we had served them to the mamas and the children there, and when there was no turkey left, a couple of more families came, and you got after that turkey carcass, and somehow or another, a miracle happened, and you found enough turkey on that carcass to feed 2 more families. What a fun day that was, and what a celebration, and how overflowing we were and are with Thanksgiving for the honor of being able to, the privilege of being able to be with these families. And I remember, in the earlier days, I guess, of the casa, when you and I would pass each other in the middle of the night there at the casa. You headed out the door with the family at 3 a.m. to get them to the airport for their flight, and me coming in to get somebody to take somewhere to the bus station or the airport. And I know that every family that you accompanied through security and to their gate and saw them off, left with such a blessing and with such a feeling of love and hope. And that feeling of love and hope is what you have brought to me in this place. And the many, many ways that you've served on the board and doing those minutes amazingly. Taking it all in, listening, and getting it all down for all of us to work with. You are so gifted in so many ways. You have gifted us in so many ways. And we're going to miss you. I'm going to miss you so much. My time with you is not up yet. I'm just convinced of it. So go in peace, go in love, and with our blessing, and knowing that you are in our hearts. We love you. I love you.
Sister Pat, Bette Butler here. In the 9 short months I've worked with you on the advocacy committee, you've made an indelible impression on my heart. I had the great pleasure back in February of sharing a long bus ride back and forth from Brownsville when we marched in protest, and I'll always treasure the memory of our long conversations about work, meditation, and music. When I look at you, sister, I see the best of human qualities: humility and humor, dedication and determination, courage and persistence, love, compassion, and the unending pursuit of justice and dignity for all human beings. You'll always inspire me. I'll never forget you. May love and light surround you wherever you are.
So, I am Meg, and I say to Sister Pat, blessings on your way. You have blessed my life and the lives of many with your information, your wisdom, your humor, and your energy, for which I am very grateful.
I've only known Sister Pat about 2 months since I've been here, but I was impressed how much time she was willing to give to get me up to speed, like, a million emails. And I thought, there must be other people and other things she has to do, but she acted like I was the only one. And even with just the 2 months, I know what Rebecca means about, being out there in Portugal, because every time I said, somebody should, she said, oh, are you volunteering?
Sent Sister an email and just reminded her we have been together on this advocacy committee for many, many years, going back almost, I guess, at the beginning of this operation. And so I really appreciated having her around. I am, in general, missing the nuns that are leaving us. That was a crucial group of leaders at the beginning, and we're going to have to replace them.
Sister Pat, this is Nina. I just wanted to wish you the best of luck. You were so kind and so great at showing me everything about the advocacy meeting and IWC when I got here about a year ago. I just want to thank you for that, and I wish you the best. I know you will continue to do great things.
If I learned anything from Sister Pat, and that is to agitate in an organized manner. So I'm advocating for us to agitate towards a congressional investigation as to why she and all of our other wonderful, powerful, inspirational people are being poached from us. There has to be some sort of conspiracy somewhere. But if we work together and we get the letters and we get the emails and we get the addresses and we organize the meetings at the congressional and all the other leaders' offices, like I learned from Sister Pat and inspired from her and cherished really everything she always had to say, then we should be successful in moving forward. What Ruben said and what Paul said and what Rebecca said, what a wonderful group of people. I'm so inspired by all the nuns, and Sister Pat was just, really just blew me away with her dedication to this committee and the group. And it's, thank you so much. Thank you, Sister Pat. It's, you've imbued me with, hopefully more energy to get more things done.
Pat, I can't believe that this is really happening, that you're leaving. You are going to be just so missed. I think just any time I needed information about anything or a contact, especially in the Valley, you always were the one that I could go to. I'm sure that your move to East St. Louis is going to be a combination of both challenge and blessing, both for you and for the people there. So I wish you well in all that lies ahead.